Before I play that, I'm going to play this from Wild Goose. You've probably seen it before if you've watched this program. Let's watch it one more time.
Tonka, 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 Tonka. You've crossed the line. You're dealing with a side that I don't show the internet. I'm going to beat the living shit out of you, Tonka. It's going to be great. You are the one who is bitch made.
We're very close, gentlemen. We are very, very close, and I'm getting more and more excited as the days move along. I was already hyped for it, but especially after I heard, we'll get to Tonka. Tonka talked in this interview as well, and he sounds strung out as a motherfucker. We have some old clips of his. He deleted a stream last month where he appeared to be under the influence.
Yeah, that's the one where he was like talking about Zintrax, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that one. I'm going to start this clip, 1658. Let's begin it right now.
Warski on the line. He's going to be joining us to make his MMA debut next weekend. Valor Fighting Challenge 54 going down in Knoxville, Tennessee. We've got a little bit of a grudge match thing going on here. It is for lack of a better word, it's a YouTubers battle. And, we saw a YouTubers battle go down in England last year. It was a big deal. These guys here that they'll be taking on each other. It's Andy Warski, who I've got on the line now, and he's going to be taking on Tonka Saw. These guys don't like each other. This is a legit thing, from what I can gather. I don't think it's work. From what I can gather, there is some real animosity here between two guys that are going to be. They're going to settle it in the cage. They're going to settle it in our cage next weekend. Andy, appreciate you taking a little bit of time to talk to us. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing excellent. Yourself?
Doing great. Before we jump into all this madness, all this muck and mess, well, let's talk a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the listeners. You've got a large following out there. Andy has a YouTube following of over 250,000 people. But for those that aren't familiar, just give us a little bit of your background first of all. Talk a little bit about your show, and then let's kind of seg into how we got to what we're doing next week.
Sure, man. Yeah, I've been doing YouTube for about 12 years now. Started with stand-up comedy for 8 years. Then the YouTube thing just took over, doing a lot better viewers and money-wise. And then about 2 years ago, it became my full-time job. I've been doing that ever since. First, I was just doing rant videos, talking about stuff. Now it's more of the live show stuff, and it's doing really, really well. I've actually taken a little bit of a break for the last few weeks to train. I've been training my ass off. This started, basically Tonka and I were friends for a while. And then he's doing all these sketchy things behind my back and, talking smack about a lot of people. And he's just overall a bad person, right? And the thing is with Tonka, people have to know, is this guy for years, every time someone pisses him off, he's like, I'll fight you. Let's fight. And everyone always said no. They're nah. I was the first guy to be like, all right, fine. I was the first guy to be like, all right, let's do this. Right. I'm down. And then he was trying to set it. I personally, I was just like, I'll just fly down where you are. And we'll just fight it on the streets. Who cares, right?
Yeah,
like, no. Yeah. I don't care. Your backyard. Let's do it. And then he was like, no. We'll find a spot to do it. And then he spoke to Tara La Rosa on his show. And within 10 minutes, she had it actually set up after their talk.
It became a real thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and it's funny because he's been he hasn't shown his face on camera or anything in years, and he still won't do that, which makes me just think that this guy, he talks a lot of smack and hasn't been training or anything for years. He claims he has, but he just won't show his face. So it's going to be nice to have him finally have to show his face. And I after everything he's done to me and other people, backstabbing people and being the snake that he is, I am so pumped to fight him. I am going to break his face. This is going to be magic. I am so.
And it's going to be legal.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if we did it the other way, it'd be a little bit more secretive. But but with this, yeah, man, I'm pumped, and I've been training for since we've set this up. I've been working out like out at the gym just
Legal
regularly for a long time now. But like training, actually fighting, for like what? It's been a month and a half.
Yeah,
it's fun. I'm actually addicted to it. I'm surprised.
So let's talk about that some. I've spoken to you on the phone, and you've made it very clear, very evident that you are taking this seriously. You don't, you're obviously on a card with a lot of skilled athletes, a lot of skilled fighters from all over the country, and you're taking this thing seriously. You don't want to make it seem like you're making a mockery of things or not taking it seriously. You're really putting in the time to prepare yourself to go out there and battle.
Yeah. It could have been easily just like, all right, whatever, let's just fight and just, just do it the way I am right now. But no, this is important for me to beat him. This is there's a lot on the line, and there's a lot of people expecting to, see his ass just get beaten. I get private messages and emails like, yo, Andy, man, please beat him. But the training itself, it's very intensive, but really, and I was doing my live show while training for a little bit, and then it just got way too much. I had to focus. It's either just, not train.
Now let's pause at 22-28. Now let me ask you if you were, let's take the, subjectiveness out of it. Obviously we want Andy to win. We want him to win big. But let's just take two fighters. One of them streams online every single day. He hasn't shown his face, as Andy correctly said, in years. He's actively resisted that, even though everybody knows who he is, knows where he is. It's well known. There's no reason to even hide from this, but he still does it. A little cat and mouse game. We don't know what shape he's in. He's been on stream strung out many times in the past month, and he's still streaming, 5-6 hour streams, and he's supposed to be training for a fight. And then you have Warski, who, and I know some people are disappointed that he hasn't been streaming the past month, but he's, taking his time. He's got some other projects going on, but he's mainly been focusing on this fight this entire time. Who would you say you took the names out of it? I mean, to me, unobjectively, and we're going to talk about this in a moment, Tonka doesn't have the experience he claims to have either, and this is confirmed later on in this segment when Tonka comes up. Is it just me? Is there some confirmation bias here going on? Or, I think Warski is going to beat his ass.
So, yeah, I think so too. Another thing is Warski's really pumped for this fight. He's been pumped since he accepted. He was like, I'm going to go fuck into the gym. I'm going to start training. I'm going to start eating right. I'm going to do everything I need to do to get my things in order to be at the best shape possible. Yeah, it's only 2 months, but even then, if you train a little bit, do whatever, at least you're showing some effort and putting some effort in. Is he going to be hulked out? Probably not, but he's going to be in much better shape than somebody who's been streaming all the time.
Yeah, and obviously I want Warski to win. I think he's going to win, but just looking at it objectively. Now, wait till we get to Tonka's part. Honestly, I almost started with Tonka's part because, Warski, we know how he is. At least I do. I've talked to him a lot recently. We're all going to be there together. We've been talking about this for a long time. I've known how excited he was. It's not, something he's just saying for public consumption. I've talked to him privately many, many times over the past 2 or 3 months. I would put it, 30, 40 times probably. We talked a lot. And this is not, he used the word work. It's not a work. Andy is legit fucking hype to fucking bury Tonka. And now, and just wait, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Wait till you hear Tonka here in a moment. Tonka sounds, he even said, anyway, hold on, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's just go ahead, Zidane.
I was going to say, let's just play it.
Yeah, let's just play it because I'm getting ahead of myself. 22-28, let's continue.
As much or put everything into training. So I decided to take a break and do that. And it's, like I said, it's fun. It's something I'll probably even be doing after the fight, not fighting like regularly on, on matches. Maybe who knows where this takes me, but just the actual training portion of it, it's really fun.
Yeah, I think whether you choose to stay in competition or not, I think regardless, the conditioning and the rigors of this type of training can't hurt.
Exactly. In fact, I can hurt other people, which is even better.
No doubt.
I can protect myself. That's what I meant.
So let's talk a little bit about any kind of nerves coming up here. You guys have talked a lot of smack. I feel like, regardless, win or lose, if you guys both go in there, give it your all, and put on a good showing, even if you were to lose, I don't think there's anything to hang your head over because it takes a lot of balls to get in there and fight. You're going to be fighting in front of thousands of people, and so you're putting it on the line. You're going out there and showing some balls, but at the same time, you don't want to go out there and just get your ass kicked and not have a good showing. So any nerves at all in that regard?
Well, after you saying that, now, yes. No, just kidding. No, honestly, man, I'm so focused on the fight, so focused on the training and what I've learned. And I was told by, a few fighters who were, who I was talking to, they're like, oh, when you're out there and there's people watching and, there's cameras, you might freeze up. You might get a little bit nervous. But, after doing like stand up for so long in front of people, I don't get the crowd, being afraid of the crowd. That's not there anymore. That I'm already used to. I'm already used to that. I mean, the only, I guess, nerves is just, I'd say, yeah, there is like almost I want to, just fight now, just get it over with, right. After and this guy, he's made his entire show based on just talking about me. I hadn't heard of him for like, a week and a half, 2 weeks. I wasn't, paying attention to him, and people were just messaging me, he talked about you for another like half an hour today. I'm like, he dreams about me. He dreams about me. And yeah. And the nerves are more of the anger. It's more like, all right, buddy. All right, let's do this. I'm pumped. It was more nervous when we had set it up the first few weeks when I'm into training for the first time, but now it's changed over, at a full 180.
Very nice, man. Well, we're going to talk to Tonka here next. So before I wrap this. Yeah, so it should be good to get a contrasting viewpoint. So everybody stay tuned. We'll have Tonka coming on next. Before we wrap it up, my man, I want to let everybody know if you want to check this out, of course, it'll be at the Knoxville Coliseum next Saturday. We'll also be doing a live pay-per-view on the Valor Fighting Challenge website. Make sure you use offer code Warski on there. If you're tuning in to see Andy Warski fight, make sure you use promo code Warski so we all know who you're supporting there. Andy, any kind of shout outs you want to give before I want to let you pump your show, and any shout outs you want to give in the lead up to this before we close out, as far as sponsors, training partners, just any love you want to show.
Well, actually, I want to. Well, first of all, it's youtube.com/Andy Warski, WARSKI. But on Friday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern, I will be on the Ralph Retort, a kill stream. It's called stream.me/ the Ralph Retort. That's where I'll be. Live like for the first time in 2 weeks, and we'll be talking about the fight. So that's Friday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, man. That's about it. And he's going to be joining me in my corner as well. He has a big show, and we're pumped ahead there, man. We're so pumped.
Very good, man. And any shout outs you want to give here? Like I said, any kind of, if you got any training partners you want to shout out or anything like that?
Warski, coming through.
Close out.
Sure. Yeah, my roommate Kirby. and the one gym I'm going to, it's pretty. I don't want to say what it is just because I don't want people like showing up to say hi to me. You know what I mean? But they've been doing an awesome job training me as well. But my roommate Kirby has been training me a lot too. So it's been awesome.
Shout out to roommate
Very
Kirby.
Nice. And of course, we'll be doing, we'll have the live weigh-ins the night before the Valor show next Friday night. So of course, you and your crew will be there. Anybody that wants to come up and say, hey, of course, I'm sure you'll be available.
Yeah, man. Oh, and also, Coach Red Pill will be joining me in my corner as well. Awesome, dude. It's going to be fun.
Very good. This has been Andy Warski.
By the way, let me just pause it and say, Warski, thank you so much. That was very nice of him to throw that mega shout out. I cannot. I'm legit almost giddy with excitement for this. This is something. I mean, I've watched fights all my life. Now, I'm more of a boxing fan than MMA. I have watched a good bit of MMA too, but I grew up in the prize fight atmosphere and the big pay-per-views. Now I realize this is not, a Tyson fight or something like that, Riddick Bowe back in the day. But I am so fucking excited to be a part of this, and I just want to thank Andy again publicly for letting me be a part of it, and not just, talking about it on the show. I'm going to be out there in his corner, walking to the fucking cage, down there while it happens. I am so fucking excited for this. It's impossible for me to overstate how excited I am for this. And that was
and don't forget, Coach is going to have his Kino vision.
Yeah, he is. Coach is talking about bringing I don't know, some fucking I want to say $1,000 camera, but I think it's a few $1,000 camera. He's going down there to shoot a fucking documentary, and we're gonna have behind the scenes stuff. Oh man, it's gonna be fucking wild all week.
Is it a 360 camera?
I don't know if it's he talked about what camera it was, but this is so far outside of my level of expertise. I couldn't even begin to describe it. But Coach is going to be filming a documentary. We're going to have behind the scenes stuff. He's going to be down, cage side doing stuff too. I'm very excited to see what he puts out after the fight as well. But Coach Kino has got some big plans, and he wanted me to make sure it was all good, and it's all good. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what Coach Kino pulls up too. Also, people were asking about tickets. There are tickets still available. Now, if you look at the seating chart, if you zoom in, at least on desktop, you can see that all the seats around the cage have been sold, but there are still some box seats available. Although even those, since I looked at them earlier, some of those have been sold, but there are still seats available at this event. If you're in the Knoxville area, you want to come on down. We're going to be, Dick Masterson's going to be there. I'm going to announce the after party spot probably tomorrow or Saturday. We're working on possibly doing a venue. Dick wants to do that as well. So it's gonna be a fun weekend. I'm really excited to meet a lot of people who watch the show and stuff too. So I know the IRL stuff, it's gay, but it's also really fucking exciting. So here's the link if you want to buy tickets. And if you want the virtual ticket, okay. Here's the virtual ticket link. This is by the way, it's not. I don't think it's coming up right now. No, it just takes a second for it to come up. If you wanna do the pay-per-view, this is the pay-per-view ticket link as well. But I will be there in town, in person. Okay. Now, this is honestly, that just made my heart swell with love and pride for Andy Warski, that whole segment right there. But this segment is the exact opposite, but it may be even more compelling for that reason, gentlemen. I guess, should I just keep play it? Yeah, let's just keep playing it from that point,
just
I guess.
Because
it's only a few more seconds till Tonka gets on there anyway. 27:51. Without further ado, Tonka the Snake, as Andy Warski just christened him. Now listen to the the juxtaposition between how Warski sounds and how Tonka sounds. And then we may pause here or there to give a couple little lines, but I'm mostly just going to let it run through. But I'm going to pause right at the top to point something out. 27:51. Let's continue.
You can check him out making his cage debut against a very heated rival in Tonka Saw. Can't wait for it, Andy. Thanks so much for the time. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Up next on the line, I have got Tonka Saw. He's going to be making his MMA debut.
Now, let's pause it at 28:11. He's going to be making his MMA debut. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, I caught that too. It's also in the text of the podcast, the webpage. Didn't he actually say that he had a couple fights under his belt?
He said he had 3 fights, I believe, under his belt. Now, mysteriously, when people went to look up these fights and his name's out there, his wrestling name's out there, his real name's out there, nobody could find these fights. Some people even made calls, because they were that dedicated to try to, bust him. And nobody had ever heard of him having any fights. He still claimed that he had these fights. Now, here we have the promoter of the fucking event talking to him, and he says this is his MMA debut. By the way, he doesn't contradict him, to give it a little spoiler alert, but I just wanted to point that out for the record. It appears to be another lie, like we just heard, at the beginning of the show. He was lying about that, too, but I know, shocking.
Yeah, and it's like these people, they would know if he did any fights amateur, because that's what they do. This is their job.
Yeah, and I was talking earlier, and I put this tweet out too. I think it's pathological for him. I think he has some feelings of inadequacy, and he feels the need to lie about his actual resume. And he's from the South. He's clearly ashamed of being from the South. Oh, this hillbilly Ralph, dude, you're the biggest fucking hillbilly that ever existed. Did you hear your mother just there? I mean, come on. All right, and it's not even to insult that. I'm just saying that's where you're from. That's what you are. Anyway, 28-11. Let's continue.
In about a week, it's going to be Valor Fighting Challenge 54 next Saturday night at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. He's going to be taking on a guy that he's not very fond of. This is a bit of a rivalry, and it's kind of being, I guess, promoted as like a YouTubers match. As we said earlier, there was a very big YouTubers match last year in England. And these guys do not like each other. Tonka Saul joining us again. Tonka, how you doing tonight? We appreciate a few minutes of your time.
Good. It's for the first time in a few nights, it's actually not raining. So
no doubt. Same here. Same here. We just spoke to your opponent, Andy Warski, and you guys are going to be throwing down in the cage a real fight, a real sanctioned MMA fight. And on a big night of fights is going to be part of 18 bouts next weekend. Before we get into that, I want to give you a chance to kind of give us a little bit of background. Tell us about your show.
Is he
channel.
Speaking on a tin can? Why does he sound
just
so
a little
shit?
bit about what has caused this rivalry, this feud to finally take place. Actually, what kind of obviously people have beef all the time, but like. Why what was the catalyst to make this thing come to fruition, like with a real sanctioned MMA cage fight?
I think it's probably I'll go with peer pressure. It was probably the easiest way.
Wait. 29-41 peer pressure. That's what caused him to do that. He was bullied into taking this fight. Easy for me to say.
I remember him going out and trying to get people to fight him.
Yeah, he did this for a year. He kept challenging people to fights, and now it's all about peer pressure. He's been pushed into this fight. What is going on?
I mean, how many fucking people has he challenged to a fight now? Andy said, yeah, he challenged, I believe, Joaquin to a fight. He challenged Godspeed to a fight. He challenged Jim to a fight. He's challenged you to a fight. Andy's like, yeah, let's fucking fight. Tara LaRosa says, yeah, I can set this up in 5 fucking minutes, and then does it.
And
he's scared.
Honestly, it was peer pressure that got him to do it, but that's completely. He didn't really want to do it, is what I'm getting out of this, and he was pressured into doing it based off his own words in public. And I said this on Twitter already, but I'll repeat it here. When you listen to him here, and we're going to continue, I won't yap too long. When you listen to him here and then listen to him on the Kumite, it's clear he's playing a character on the Kumite, and this is the real Tonka, and he sounds shook as fuck. All right, let's continue. 29-41.
Rosa ended up hearing about it, and she tweeted it out. And there's just a certain, once things start to build a certain steam, it's hard to say no.
It's hard to say no.
There had been a lot of kicking around of let's fight, let's do it like the boxing or this. It's just kicking around to the idea. And when Tara tweeted it out, it kind of took away an out.
Tara bullied him into it.
Within a couple of days, it went up and down in whether or not it might happen for a few days. But it got kind of hammered, settled, and it was going to go down and everything. And that it's weird that it's got here. I don't know. I've talked to you a couple of times, and you mentioned yourself that like if you would have asked you like a month ago when this actually happened, you wouldn't know.
Right.
And I was kind of in the same boat. I didn't know if he was good. I wouldn't think that I would be 10 days out.
Listen to him slurring his words, by the way.
We're good. Because like that was the whole, I was like, okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're still good. We're 10 days away. I don't know if this airs 10 days away. It may be 9 days or 8 days by the time this is heard by people. But finally getting within that nice little home stretch, it's a good feeling. And I've been in front of crowds before. I enjoy it. I don't know. There's something about it to look forward to, and it's good to have something to look forward to, and that's what's kind of got me going for it. There's a million things between me and this guy. It's one of the easiest
He's
ones off the
so
top of my
high.
head. I mean, like, he stole money from my friend the other week. It's like, what are you doing? Like, he just charges back a bunch of money from him in the middle, like a week before Christmas. And it's like, this is why people don't like you. This is why people want to fight. This is the kind of stuff you do that will make somebody want to fight. And so I'm going to look forward to fight. It's also kind of nice, it's going to be a fight against somebody who I actually don't like. Usually there's always that sportsmanship thing in there with people where, I like this guy, but I'm going to go and hit him. And, after that, we'll be friends and everything. I don't have to worry about that, actually, because I don't like this guy. And I'm going to get to hit him. And I don't have to be his friend after. I get to cut out all the good stuff that kind of holds. I was about to say hold people, but it didn't hold people, but kind of make people. I like this guy, but I'm going to go in here and punch him in the face. I don't have to worry about that. I do not like this guy.
Andy gave a little bit of backstory, not a whole lot, but at the same time, he said that you guys used to be friends. He said that you guys were friends for several years. Didn't get into a whole lot of details. Like I said, he said that, there was some talk back and forth, I guess, and some derogatory comments made, and to tell you the truth, whenever this whole thing kind of came to fruition, I thought that there was probably less than 50% chance that it would all actually see the light of day. Just, you're dealing with guys that you've not really met before, guys that are doing a fight for the first time. There's a lot of pressure, not to look bad in this situation. So I thought that kind of like you did that, something would happen. But it looks like this thing's starting to come together. And like you just said, we're 8, 9, 10 days away at this point. We're in that stretch where it's starting to become a reality.
Yeah. Well, see, one thing I want to say, this is another thing. He just lies about things that don't even matter. I've not even known Andy for years.
Oh, wow.
It's stuff like that. It's stuff like that. That's how we got here. I've not even known Andy.
By the way, Andy
years.
didn't even say that. But,
okay. Maybe I met him a little over a year ago. Maybe a little over a year ago, a pinch. But it's stuff like that. Things like that. Just for no reason. Why even lie about that? This is why people want to fight you.
So, and I asked Andy the same question as I'm about to ask you. And, you both, I've talked to you guys, and you both made it very apparent that you're not taking this lightly. You're not just going out here, amongst a bunch of professional fighters. You're going to be amongst some legitimate professional MMA athletes from all over the country. And, you guys are taking it serious. You're not trying to let yourself be a mockery.
Easy to look back. Yeah, that's what I've yelled about that a lot. I don't know. The idea of Andy getting out there, getting in there and he's getting into the cage and everything, and I understand they're both coming from YouTube and stuff, but I have a ridiculous amount of respect for the fight game. It bothered me. It's just another thing that bothers me about him. I hope he's taking it seriously because. Yeah, I am.
Wow, he sounds
I
really excited.
don't know if he sees this as opportunity or if he sees this as an obligation.
Right.
Whichever way he sees it, as long as he does what he needs to do to get there. But the reality is he should see it as a privilege. The people in the fight game would look at this as a privilege.
Privilege. By the way, let me pause it at 34:58. Warski's talking like, well, who knows? Maybe if this pans out. Warski was talking like this might be a new avenue for him in his career to do future MMA fights. Tonka sounds like he's going to a funeral.
Yeah, Warski wants to be on fucking UFC, what is it, 120?
Yeah, Warski's hyped. He's like, I can't wait to beat his ass. I'm excited. Hell yeah, we're all going to be there. Big ups to the kill stream. Tonka sounds half dead, and he's definitely high as fuck in this interview, by the way. We'll go to that in a second. But, okay.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, there's no zero doubt. Look, I can tell. All right, 34:58. Let's continue.
There's a lot of people who would love this spot. There's a lot of people that would love this spot. And it's hard. It would take years to explain to Andy why this is a privilege. That's why I wouldn't even bother with it. But I'm hoping he takes it seriously. I'm hoping it's not a mockery. I'm hoping all of these things because I'm serious as hell.
So it's safe to say you've been training up here for the past several weeks for this thing.
Yeah, more than a few weeks. It was like I just told everybody today that I made weight like 2 weeks ago, and I've sat there like real comfortably.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that was there was a little bit of weight for you to come down to make sure that you made the welterweight limit. So that's not going to be an issue. It sounds like that's good. We should get a couple of good, fresh guys. Hopefully, neither of y'all depleted by any sort of massive weight cut.
I was dreading having to sit in a sweat room. I really despise that. It's one of my least favorite things, just having to sit and sweat.
Right.
Man. So I'm glad. Yeah, that doesn't look like it's even going to be needed. Like I'm cool. I'm sitting right up under the limit. I'm good.
Outstanding, man. Well, we're super excited to see this go down.
This part.
Before I let you go, I want to let you give any shout outs or love where they're due. Remind folks where they can listen to your show. I want to get your subscriptions up as well. And like I said, any love you want to give, any kind of sponsors, training partners, the like, I'll let you have it.
Well, the people who I'm training, it's just some people from my past. Don't throw too many of the people out there, crazy stuff going. But I do the show over on it's a channel on YouTube. It's called just Tonka Saw, TONKSAW. And
what?
Yeah, it's just a morning show. There's not a lot to it. It's just a morning show. That's all. It's just people talking in the AM. I appreciate you guys having me on and actually allowing this to happen. I really appreciate it. It's not.
Wait, what did he say? I really appreciate that. That was not a cut by me. That's him stammering his words. He's high as a fucking kite right here.
There's something wrong with him.
No, he's definitely high. I mean, there's just no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
All right, 37:03. It's almost done. Let's finish it up.
Of what goes on, and I do appreciate it.
Well, it certainly piqued a lot of interest, man. We're really excited. Again, if you're wanting to check this out, it will be next Saturday night at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. If you want to come live in person, you're coming to support Tonka Saw, make sure you use offer code Tonka Saw so you can check that out. We'll also be live on pay-per-view on the Valor Fights.
Chief Oxycontin here. What is going on with this guy? Remember how he said, I got all this, promotional skill. That was the most depressing thing I've ever heard. Now,
he didn't seem into it at all.
Yeah,
not even a little bit.
Now, contrast that with Warski. Warski's flying around. Him and the interviewer bantering back and forth. He's very engaged with what's going on. Tonka's, slurring his words. Nothing exciting about anything he's saying. He said he was peer pressured into the fight itself.
Yeah, he blames Tara LaRosa for
which
it.
is a complete rewrite of what actually happened. I mean, he called people out for months and months, and then Warski's finally like, all right, let's do it.
I wonder how she...
Well, I won't go into everything that I've heard on that score either, but I don't think she's the biggest Tonka Saw fan. Let's just put it there. Let's just put it there.